Welcome in. Thanks for hanging with us here at SOUNDOFF at Barstool Sportsbook at LeBears. Kevin Guidry, Rick Sarah, Scooter Hobbs off this week. We'll see how that's going to play. We're finally into game week.
It's time. We've been waiting on this.
We have been waiting with bated breath. LSU, Mcneese, UL Lafayette.
I'm ready.
Pretty much every college team in the country getting ready for this weekend. They already played a game, by the way.
They have.
One of your favorite teams, Notre Dame, in Dublin, by the way, in Ireland. Beat up on Navy like 42-3. So they got it off. They got it off early. Called like 0 week or week 0 or something like that. All right, we got the Saints to talk about. The preseason's over. They're finally trying to get down to the 53-man player roster.
That's going to be tough.
We got that to talk about. Trey Lance traded to the Dallas Cowboys. We'll answer the question: biggest first-round bust ever?
Rick, I don't know.
I don't know. We haven't seen him on the field that much.
I don't think ever. No, we're not.
I like to throw that. But we begin with LSU and the Mason Smith story, travesty, debacle from the NCAA standpoint. All right. Last week I mentioned that the NCAA continually likes to step in and get their fingers into the power pie. I call it the power pie.
They do, Rick.
They come from the sidelines and we want more control. Their control over college athletics are hanging on like a thread, right? And this issue with Mason Smith has been percolating for about a year and a half. It all goes back to this autograph signing period over a spring. He made some money. They found out about it. Hey, couldn't suspend him last year. Why? Because he didn't play. He got hurt.
Right, there's no need to do it.
So it moves into this season, so they suspend him for game 1 against Florida State.
You know,
Top
Rick,
10 matchup.
Yeah, Rick, let me ask this, Rick. What are the stipulations by the NCAA that tells a college athlete what you can and can't do when it comes to NIL stuff? It's like it's open, Rick.
Well, it's open now.
It's like it's an open book. Like nobody has control on what a player can and can't do.
The caveat to the Mason Smith story, bad timing. A couple of months later, NIL was passed.
Granted, Rick, Rick, this is what gets me, Rick.
It's a timing situation.
If it's like what you said, a timing thing, can't you show some kind of leeway or some kind of grace period to say, you know what, you're just going to stamp it, stop it, and say, hey, if you do it, it's done. How can you do that?
Funny you should bring that up.
Because they don't have control over it.
Funny you should bring that up, former LSU Tiger guy. Look, the NCAA ruling stated this, and I'm not verbatim, but stated Mason Smith is suspended for not the first game, not game 1, specifically Florida State. Not game 1. That's why Brian Kelly tried to get that Grambling game moved up or schedule a game in week 0, right? To avoid this Florida State matchup. There's something stinky here. There's something fishy.
No, Rick,
they didn't say game 1.
They
didn't say they said Florida State.
It is. And I know
the NCAA knew that LSU might try to get around this thing. And to your point, wiggle room. Keishawn Butte reportedly was also in their signing.
Well, he doesn't matter anymore.
Well, I know that, but you know what game he was suspended for? New Mexico.
You know, Rick,
New Mexico.
It's like, come on, NCAA. If you're going to put these kind of, you know what, Rick?
Hypocrisy.
Now
the hypocrisy
you
runs
want
so
kids
deep
to want to go back and play the game type situation to where, hey, I'll get my uncle to do it like a Johnny Manziel, okay? You guys saw the documentary of Johnny Manziel.
I finally saw it.
He got his grandfather to make money for him. You don't want kids to go down that road, Rick. You want kids to try to play by the rules, man, as to what's expected of them.
It's all a moot point now. NIL has opened up all of it.
It is.
But you talk about wiggle room.
Yes.
The Johnny Manziel story, especially with this documentary.
He did the same thing.
He did it years ago. When he won the Heisman, he made $50,000. No, millions. He made about 50 grand.
He made millions. He made 50 grand on one signing.
On that one signing.
Okay.
And what did the NCAA rule then? I mean, they went through a whole legal entanglement. A half a game against Rice.
Yeah, Rick.
So Mason Smith gets a full game against Florida State. Keishawn Butte gets a game against New Mexico. Who cares? And Johnny Manziel gets a half, and this is years ago.
And you talking about a guy that's a Heisman candidate, Rick?
Who?
The Florida State quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
You okay?
No,
this ain't no joke game for LSU, man.
This is a major top 10 game.
This is no joke game.
Brian Kelly, and I'm sure LSU, look, all of a sudden when this came out, this has all been percolating.
It has been. It's been simmering for a while, Rick.
Brian Kelly said, look, we tried. We tried to get a week 0 game. We tried to move Grambling up. We tried to reschedule something, and they simply ran out of time. They ran through appeals. Look, we want Mason Smith in this game.
They need him, Rick.
NCAA wouldn't hear it.
They need him in this game.
Oh, I think they do.
They need him in this game, man. I mean, I'm not being funny, Rick.
Again, it's the NCAA, with their fingers
You're right,
in
Rick.
the power pie.
And you say to yourself, Rick, when does it stop, or where does it start to clear up to where players know what they can and can't do? There are players out there right now, Rick, they don't know what the rules are.
Well,
they really don't, Rick.
Well, there are still some NCAA rules they got to deal with. In particular, gaming, betting. Iowa State's in the lurch for that. Some guys for Iowa.
And Rick,
let
me tell you how bad it is.
They need to know.
Players can do this off of their phone.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah. And look, the thing about Mason Smith, remember the Florida State game last year. He played, what, was it a series?
It wasn't.
He jumped up for joy, celebrating, he tears an ACL.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine how much work this young man has
put into that?
Big number 0.
For that game.
For this to return against Florida State. And because he decided to make some pocket change, I don't know how much he made. It doesn't really matter.
Rick, I don't even know either how much he made.
And the NCAA is going to, the hypocrisy runs so deep with this organization.
Does the NCAA know how much money he made?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Okay.
I mean, they got investigators.
Okay.
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
But stating that, oh, no, it's not game 1, it's Florida State. You're going to get suspended for the Florida State game. So if Brian Kelly was successful in maybe putting it back or putting Grambling and paying Grambling $2 million to move up, no. The NCAA was going to step in and say, wow, that isn't going to work. Anyway, Thursday night, we'll have more of preview LSU and Florida State on our Thursday night show. The Max Bar and Grill, they will chill you down with cold drinks, and they will solve all those hunger pains you may have after playing 18 holes of golf. Try the sizzling steaks and burger off the grill, seafood and pasta pull boys. If it's not too hot, try the gumbo. Apps and desserts, of course. Cold beers off 20 taps and cool down with the frozen drinks. Don't forget Sunday brunch. It's all at the Max Bar and Grill.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
Frozen faces, burnt hot dogs, finding silver linings in every season. You never forget the way some things taste.
Bow hunters, time to get over to Bowie Outfitters for their annual archery sale with huge savings across the board. How about 40% off select bows and crossbows, like the 10-point Havoc 440, 40% off, or the Wicked Ridge Blackhawk 360. That's Kevin's favorite, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Down to $239.99. 20% off bow accessories, 10% savings on all of the broadheads, half off Hollow Optic rangefinders. Get geared up, guys, before the bow hunting season gets underway at Bowie Outfitters. A big archery sale going on now through Labor Day, and that would be this coming weekend, September 3rd. All right, welcome back to Barstool Sportsbook at La Berge, which, by the way, ladies' night, Friday night.
Yes.
Friday night, lady nights right here at Barstool Sportsbook, 6 to 10 p.m. $6 margaritas and martinis, by the way. $5 for select glasses of wine, and, of course, you got to be 21.
Yes, you do.
To enter ladies' night as well.
All
right, college football season well underway. We got Notre Dame already in the books. They're like ranked number 13 in the country. They beat up on Navy in Ireland.
Yeah.
Dublin had that special Irish, fighting Irish game kind of thing.
Yeah.
A couple of other biggies. Of course, the big one is number 5 LSU against number 8 Florida State. Hey,
that's a big game, Rick.
One of the big headlines of college football this weekend is the noon game TCU and Colorado. Primetime comes back to Dallas-Fort Worth. Yeah. The Colorado Buffaloes against TCU. TCU is top 20.
Rick, let me tell you something. That might be the fastest played game this season. Because they're going to throw it, Rick. They're going to throw it. Both teams going to throw it, Rick.
Well,
they're going to light it up.
A lot of interest in Deion Sanders. He's in big boy football now.
They are going to light
Power
it up.
Power 5 Colorado against TCU. All right, let's figure out if Mcneese can win their opener against Tarleton State. That's
Home game, Rick.
7 o'clock kickoff at Cowboy Stadium. These two teams met 2021. It was Tarleton State against Mcneese. Remember?
Yeah.
It was freezing cold.
It
was the season
was.
opener. Cody Orgeron came back and won it in double overtime.
Yeah.
Freezing cold. I know what you're thinking. Freezing cold because it was that COVID season.
It was.
Remember, it was the spring,
It was.
and it
I
was
know
in
what you're talking about.
February.
Yeah.
It was like 22 degrees.
It definitely was.
So, and they won in double overtime. It's going to be, Gary Goff has said, it's going to be like looking at themselves in the mirror.
It is. And he stated that.
Two teams very
And
similar to each other.
You know what's so ironic, Rick? When talking about this game, both coaches have not named a starting quarterback.
No, they haven't. What do you think about? Look,
I'll tell you what I think, Rick.
I don't, and
tell
I've
you what I
pressed Gary Goff
Yeah.
all the way through really all August camp. I
Okay.
think really he doesn't want to tip off Tarleton.
Well,
he knows who's starting, and
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
Nate Glantz.
I think
I'd
he
be
knows.
shocked if it's not Nate Glantz.
And I got to agree with you.
I
too,
don't
Rick.
know. I got to go with him. He's the coach. He's got
Well,
the vibe of the team. I don't really agree with
I'll
it.
tell you what's smart.
Just come out and say.
I'll
But
tell
he
you what's
doesn't want
smart
to
on
tip
his
off
part.
Tarleton.
When you do that, Rick, what you do, you don't have a team specifically game plan for one guy to throw away
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks are different. They both are different, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You got one that can take it to the house with his legs.
Yes, he does.
You know?
Yeah.
And you got one that can stand there and hurt you with his feet.
Yes.
I mean, in
He
the
moves.
pocket.
Good mobile
So,
quarterback.
That's, to me, I think that might work to Gary Goff's advantage because you're not letting them know what
I
you're
got
going to
it.
prepare for
I got it.
specifically.
I
So
got it.
kudos to him,
And,
man, being that way if he wants
the
to do
interesting thing about Tarleton is he stated in his preseason press conference on Monday is they haven't named their starter.
They have
and both quarterbacks are pocket quarterbacks.
Pocket quarterbacks.
And I looked at the rundown. 165, 220.
Big guy.
And 163.
Big guy.
And these
Both of
guys
them
are
big
going to
guys.
be big guy. So again, he knows the style he's going to
Yeah.
play. He just doesn't know exactly who.
And I think he mentioned early in one of his interviews, Rick, this week, he said one of the guys that's playing, he actually recruited, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he knows a little bit about what they're going to do.
They've
Rick.
looked at a lot of tape
Yeah,
on this.
what they're
And
gonna do,
look,
Rick.
for this game against Tarleton, the quarterback's not the issue.
No,
Nate
it's not.
Glantz is going to be fine.
It's not.
Trey Simmons,
It's
I think,
not.
would be
It's
fine.
not.
Offensive line is fine. Defensive line, Kevin, it's receivers first. Can they produce when the whistle blows?
And
And,
the thing
can the
is-
secondary cover?
The thing is, Rick,
Because if you
what-
got a pocket quarterback and they play up tempo like Mcneese is going to play,
You have to.
Those DBs better cover.
You have to. And I'm telling you this,
just
Rick,
saying.
also on McNeese's side for the receivers, and one of the things that Coach Goff said that he looked at, it's going to be a fast tempo game. They've got to know what checks to make if the safety is moving or if he's staying in the cover 2 look or if he's going to a zone look.
Yeah.
They got to be well mentally ready for that because that's how your offense works. If you're not making the right checks to your receivers with the quarterback, you can't make those throws, Rick. Same with the DBs on the defensive side, Rick. When they see different types of formations, Rick, they got to know what's expected. They got to know what's coming.
Well,
that was my advantage when I played, Rick. I wasn't the fastest guy, but Rick, I was smart.
Right.
I studied, Rick. And that can be an advantage to you. I praise myself on playing like a guy from the NFL to play with the Cowboys, Emerson Walls.
Right.
That was my hero, man. Wasn't a real fast guy,
Right.
you know that. But he was smart, Rick.
Right.
He was smart. That's what made him an all-pro. And Mcneese's cornerbacks are going to have to be, they've got safeties that can come down here and hurt you. I mean, that's
They're
the
big.
biggest safeties
They're
I've
bigger.
ever seen at
They're
Mcneese, man.
big.
In all the years I've
big.
watched them.
Yeah.
They can hurt you. But those corners, they got to be smart, Rick. They got to be smart.
We've talked a lot about communication in the secondary. Look, over the past 4, 5, 6 years, McNeese's communication in the secondary has at times been awful. That's why they give up so many explosive
The big
chunk
plays, Rick.
And this is a whole new group now.
It is.
Now, Goff has said they're ready to play.
He
It's
stated
time-
that.
They want to play a football game. That tells me that the communication's down, and that tells me the receivers are ready.
You could be
We're
right.
gonna find
Rick.
out.
We will
He
find
thinks
out
they're ready.
Saturday in the hole. We will
And
find out.
Tarleton, they got a lot at stake too.
They do, Rick.
I mean, they're sitting FCS. They want to
They do.
impress some people because they want to move up, like McNeese wants to move up.
Look.
Tarleton's going to be a tough opponent.
McNeese right now, Rick, looking back at last year, this right here, this first big win for them can erase all of what happened last year. This
That's a
one game,
good
Rick.
point. Look.
This one game, Rick, can erase all of that, Rick.
One game doesn't make a season.
No, it doesn't. But, Rick, but that game,
but-
Rick, but that game,
A
yes,
big
it
but.
does. Yes,
They
it
got
does.
to win this opener.
Yes, it does.
Because they got Florida in the swamp.
And you know-
and then 2 road games.
You're not expecting, Rick. That's your money game, okay?
It is your money
You're
game.
not even expecting
No,
to be
no, no.
in that one.
You're right. They're not going to beat Florida, obviously. You want to go out there and make a good showing and compete.
That's exactly. And stay healthy. Stay healthy.
Again, man, You know, Alcorn and Eastern Illinois, they'll probably be favored in those games. They should.
They will.
This team needs to get off.
This first game, Rick, is the one.
It is big. All right. The last time they played Tarleton, it was 26 degrees.
26
it could very
degrees,
well
Rick.
be 126 degrees in the hall. Fan turnout is critical. It's not going to be that hot,
but you're right, though, Rick. You're right.
You're big on turning the turnstiles.
It is. You have to, Rick.
There's a lot of buzz around this team. There's a lot of buzz. Will the fans show up?
It's time for Gary Goff to get this offense in motion. We've been waiting for it. It's time.
They don't want to see an empty house.
Nope.
Because this is season opener and there's a lot of buzz.
Rick.
All right, we're coming back to Barstool Sports Talk at LaBerge with more of the show. Stay right there. Coming right back.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
Frozen faces, burnt hot dogs, finding silver linings in every season. You never forget the way some things taste. Great taste, 96 calories. Tastes like Miller Time.
What's bugging you?
Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
Offer a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to homeowner preferences no matter where they are. Uncompromising, unmistakable Luxair. Learn how to become a Luxair dealer by visiting Solar Supply Luxair.
Bowie Outfitters' huge archery sale going on now through this weekend, which is the Labor Day weekend, September 3rd. 40% off select bows and crossbows like the Elite Envision, save $440, and the Excalibur Mag Air crossbow, only $329.99. Save 20% off some of your favorite bow hunting accessories, and there are select preseason clearance items on sale, like for 75% off, limited time. Get over to Bowie Outfitters in Lake Charles for big savings. It's the annual archery sale because the bow hunting season is right around the corner.
Yes,
Sarah and Guidry with you. Scooter Hobbs off this week, coming to you from Barstool Sportsbook at LaBerge. All right, it's very nice being down here. We're getting off to a very busy start. It's going to be very busy from now on. I mean, college football,
it's
NFL football.
It's here.
Better get down to Barstool early because they're going to pack it in here. All right, number 5, LSU against number 8, Florida State. The Tigers are deep on the defensive line. Yes, they're missing Mason Smith. We know it. It's a huge hole. And I think this Knowles offense, which is very good, I think they're going to attack that hole.
They will.
I think they're going to attack.
They will.
LSU's good on the defensive line, and they're deep.
And they're
but that's a big man, number 0.
That's a big man, Rick. A big, good man.
He is. They're going to attack it.
Wow. You know, and it just goes back to say, how well of a coaching job can the LSU defensive coaches do to offset this, Rick?
Funny you should say that.
Because I'm telling you, when it comes down to stuff like this, Rick, and we've said this before now, there are coaches that can make it look one way and make it seem like it's something else if you're really, really good at what you do, Rick. And I'm hoping that Coach Kelly, we was down there a week ago and he spoke with us, and he's saying that this is probably the most athletic he's seen in a while since he's been coaching on a defensive line. That's what he stated. Now, who knows, whatever, but for him to say that, Rick, there's maybe a lot that we don't know.
Apparently, did Kelly drag you into his office and give you a little defensive game plan?
He didn't say that. No,
Monday,
he spoke to the entire alumni group.
Monday in his pregame press conference, he alluded that they're gonna put a game plan together and make sure Florida State does not know where Harold Perkins Jr. is going to attack them from. He's inside, right?
Yes,
he's playing inside backer now.
Sometimes,
but they're going to move him around.
Sometimes he's going to
be
inside.
you go.
Yeah.
He's going to throw things at him to throw him off balance.
And it's like, you know, Rick.
You got to. He's too big of a talent.
We looked at Harold Perkins at the scrimmage. Rick, this dude can be playing pro like tomorrow.
Oh, he's fast. I mean,
Rick, There's some guys, Rick,
Yeah.
Rick does not have the athleticism that this guy has got. And he's still playing college football,
amazing.
Rick.
He's amazing. All right. LSU has a senior quarterback,
They
Jaden
do.
Daniels, and they got a slew of very good receivers. You're very high
They
on
do.
these guys. I don't know. You said
Rick,
they're the
you know
second
what?
coming
It's-
of Odell
Rick,
Beckham
I'm
and Justin
Rick,
Jefferson.
I
don't know.
The public can't see a lot of what I see when I go to these scrimmages.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, Rick.
I'll be
I'm
watching.
telling you,
I'll
Rick.
be watching.
Be
very
watching,
close.
Rick.
All
I'm telling you.
They got the running back. Supposedly Josh Williams, though, is probable.
Yes,
But they've
he
got,
is.
John Emery.
They got a lot. They
no.
got a slew of them.
I think the word was Josh Williams might be nicked up.
He
Antonio
is.
Goodwin may be probable. We don't know, but they got so many of them they can throw out there.
I have never seen as many, and you go back to those days when you knew that LSU always had a first-round running back coming out going into the season, Rick. That's what we like. Okay, here we go, boy. They're going to light it up. You know what? I think these guys are going to have to prove themselves, and I think it's going to be one out of these four, Rick, that's going to emerge and be like, that's him.
Really?
Because, Rick, from what I see, Rick, they all can catch the ball out the backfield.
I don't know.
And that's a good thing, Rick, because you know what? That puts the defense on their heels, man. When you got a running back coming out the backfield that can catch a seam route.
I don't mind a running back by committee. Thursday night show, we're going to need a prediction. I've got my prediction.
I've got mine, too.
I got my Mcneese prediction
I've
in
got
my
mine,
brain.
too.
I got LSU,
I've
Florida
got mine,
State. So
too.
the Thursday night show
I've
on
got mine,
CBS
too.
Lake Charles, get ready for that. Look, another game that's going to be interesting that I think the Cowboys are going to be kind of peaking at is that Thursday night game, Florida, at Utah. Now, remember, Florida beat the Utes in Gainesville last year in a close game that I think Utah let slip away.
Yeah,
so
they
this
did.
is Billy
They did.
Napier's got a little bit of pressure, and he's
He does,
opening up
Rick.
with a tough one. Like
He does.
LSU, he's
He
opening
does.
up. Don't underestimate Utah.
No.
They are
no,
very,
no,
very
no.
good,
We
and
won't.
Cam
We
Rising
won't.
is still their
We
quarterback.
won't.
So we're going to
And
see.
you're right about
All
that, though.
The Saints wrapped up preseason. Yeah, they lost to the Texans. A lot of people sat. Nobody. Look, roster cuts were made on Tuesday. Look, I still think they're Loomis and Dennis Allen. Their toughest decisions was at linebacker and receiver. So the roster is going to play out.
Yeah.
But the one thing that, to me, is the health of this team.
It is, Rick.
The
Coming
health,
in.
They didn't lose. DeMario Davis he's back practicing, but he missed most of camp with that calf thing. That
You're right,
was
Rick.
that was the
That was
big
key,
thing,
Rick.
you
That
know?
was key. That was key. And you know what? When you look at it, and it's like, I don't know why, but we always go back to look at Sean Payton and Drew Brees to say, you know what? We always know what to expect. And like you said, Carr he's still got to prove himself to me, Rick.
To you.
To me. To
He's
you,
proven,
too?
no.
You proven, Rick.
No.
Okay,
I
Ricky.
got a high comfort
All right,
zone
Ricky,
with
okay.
Derek Carr. I do.
I keep telling you, there's a reason why he left Las Vegas, Rick. Come on now, you don't want to admit it, Rick.
You need to get
There was
off.
a
You
reason
need to
why
get
he's
off the
left-
couch
he
and
left
stop
Las
watching
Vegas, Rick,
Kevin
okay?
Guidry reruns at LSU to watch some NFL games
I'm telling you,
beside
Rick,
the Saints and the Dallas Cowboys.
Anyway, Rick, he's going to have
Jeez.
to prove himself to me.
Okay.
And until he does that, okay.
Speaking-
But like I say, he's got a slew of talent, Rick,
He does.
at receiver and at running back,
He
Rick.
does.
Oh, God, at running back, Rick,
Even
come on.
without Alvin Kamara. So more on that in Thursday night show. Look, speaking of proving themselves,
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers, they gave up 3 number 1 picks
They
to
did.
move up to get Trey Lance out of North Dakota State.
Rick, what were they thinking, Rick?
He had 17 starts at FCS North Dakota State. He hardly ever got on the field. They traded him to the Dallas Cowboys
They did.
for a 4th round pick. I'm not going to say it's the biggest bust in NFL history because he didn't play enough.
A 4th round pick, Rick.
But it's the biggest front office debacle decision, I think, ever. Think about the assets the 49ers could have now and over the next 2 years if they didn't trade all those first-round picks to try to move up and get Trey Lance. You can't blame the guy. He hadn't seen enough of Trey Lance.
Hadn't seen enough of
And
him,
the mind-boggling thing to me is Jerry Jones didn't even tell Mike McCarthy about the deal, nor did he tell Dak Prescott.
What is that?
I don't get that.
What is that about, Rick?
I don't know.
I mean, I look at Dad on the sideline for the game,
I
calling
don't
plays
know.
and stuff. Hell, he looks like he was a coach that night, the other night. But I go back and think, you don't have that communication, you don't have that conversation.
At least your head coach. Now, granted, Trey Lance is not going to do anything for the Dallas Cowboys this year,
But
unless something
But you know,
really
Rick-
bad happens.
Rick,
But I don't see that
Rick,
happening.
you go back to that Green Bay deal with Aaron Rodgers. That's enough to piss somebody off, Rick. You know what I'm saying, Rick? That's why Aaron Rodgers is not in Green Bay right now, because of that one front office move they made that really upset him, Rick.
I think he got
Think
over
about it, Rick.
that. I think he got
I don't
over
know,
it.
Rick.
You know,
I
the
don't know, Rick. I
49ers
don't know.
made up
I
for it
don't
by
know.
getting Brock Purdy and making this salient decision to take him in the very last pick, and now they got their starting quarterback. But it doesn't wash to me.
It does not wash, Rick.
I mean, you gave
It's
up
way
three
off.
number ones
Three
to
number
get
ones,
Trey
Rick.
Lance.
You know how far that could have put your organization? 3 number ones?
And
You know
now he's in Dallas. Wish him luck. Wish him luck.
he's gonna need it,
That'll
Rick.
do us for us tonight. Check out our Thursday
Yes.
show, and don't forget about the boys on Polk Nation. We'll see you next time, everybody.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
Now's the perfect time to enjoy your amazing backyard. Unless you have a mosquito problem, contact the experts at J&J Exterminating and take advantage of $50 off initial service. Make this summer the best ever with J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.